All right, welcome back to that episode of Regenerate Talk that we were talking about literally in the previous episode. Where my energy? Fuck you, okay? I did it for the other episode. Go watch that one. Okay, here's the Spider-Man 2 section of it because Marcus hasn't played the game. So, everybody here, however, has interacted with the game in some capacity. I don't have a PS5. I'm waiting for it to come on PC. Ty doesn't have a PS5. Bryce is the only one that's played the game, okay?
Yeah,
So,
I've actually. I judge. I like to. Play the thing and then judge it. You know.
I played with a friend. I sat there and I did homework while they were playing. So I was present. I'm like a fucking third party,
Okay.
basically.
Okay. Well, I will probably serve as moderator because I gotta go grab dinner and play Devil May Cry. But if push comes to shove, I will defend Bryce. But yeah, you guys can go at it. Okay.
All right, fucking.
All right.
All right, Bryce.
Where
Bryce.
do you want to start then? I guess. Where do you want to start with this?
Okay, I know exactly where the fuck I'm starting. See, I'm trying to go in order. Like, what bothered me the most was the.
This is gonna be a long fucking episode. It's gonna be a long episode.
The stupidest thing to me is Venom. Like, by large, Venom, and how they went about adapting Venom and the symbiote storyline, which will definitely have consequences either in a Venom game of his own or Spider-Man 3, which is inevitably far worse. Far worse.
I don't know about that one.
With the fucking trying to Spider.
I will agree. I will agree with you in the fact that it does have the potential to be worse. I can understand your concerns there, but continue.
I just feel like
Ooh.
I believe you put it a certain way, Bryce. That certain people. Whoa! You were paraphrasing Guillermo del Toro in saying some writers just want to put their dick in it, and I they didn't just put their dick in it. They shoved it in, went for a few strokes. They came in it, and then they kept going. And they kept going.
Vivid.
Until they pulled out, and they were like, "Holy fuck! Did I just get you pregnant by accident?"
I just came. I just came so fucking hard. I'm blind.
Like, no. It was so bad that Insomniac rolled over on top of Spider-Man 2. It was like,
and say, "Did you come to? Did you come to? Did you come to?"
Literally, that's how bad. I mean, I don't want to call this story broadly bad because I feel like that's a disservice to a lot of great stuff. Like I haven't played it, but the Howard mission I've seen is like the best.
Dude, I legit.
Game.
I fucking was crying. That was bad. That was
entirely. I still I will fucking like. I prefer, Spider-Man 2 with like a side dish of shit rather than fucking a dish of shit that is fucking the MCU and the comics and whatever else. So I will not. I'm not one of those niggas who are like, oh, fucking Brian Intihar is a fucking fraud. Insomniac fell off. Spider-Man 2 is fucking garbage. Like, no. I'm just really disappointed in the direction that I can see it going. Because I feel like, for some reason, and I think I mentioned this with Eli and Joe, but Spider-Man PS4 was written in like fucking what, 2015, 2016? It was a completely different point. It was, the character was in a completely different spot. It was really just starting to come back in ASM and all that, and it was starting, like, it was like a bit of an uptick, I want to say. Like, fucking 2018 was like, the year of Spider-Man, I would say.
Oh yeah, that was when Spider-Verse came out, Infinity War came out, and obviously part of that movie. Like, I agree.
Completely different spot than,
Okay.
I would say this game was probably written around 2020, 20. So yeah, it's been a while since these niggas actually got in the lab and like fucking cooked. Sorry, I got like randomly congested. But that being said, I think it really shows how different Spider-Man has become, in that huge fucking 6-7 year gap. Because just even like being hot off the heels of Spider-Man 1 and like we're getting implications of Harry as Venom or just Venom being in the game, fine. We've got something going on with Norman, fine. We've got something going on with Otto, fine. We've even got something a little more heartfelt, heartbroken, and personal going on with Aunt May. Cool. Then with this game, it's like we've got 12 million goddamn things going on at once.
Mhm.
Like the fucking I think what stood out to me the most, well, it didn't like stand out to me, but it fucking like it irked me in a way. I would say that there were these punctual moments in the first Spider-Man, fucking Yuri turning into Wraith, or starting to turn into Wraith.
Well, that was
And then,
DLC,
I'm
admittedly. Just
suspecting
to,
it was DLC. Yes, it was DLC.
I'm just saying,
Built up.
just to,
But having that
you know,
relationship built up the course of the game, and then she fucking becomes a killer, and like we get to this game, and it's like it's like whatever. It's like it's close. It's not nothing, but it's close to whatever. It's very close to whatever territory. And
just now they decide to have Peter treat her like, oh yeah, like I'm just not gonna acknowledge that you killed like several people or whatever.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I just so I understand what you're saying, right?
It's just little things like that where there were core story moments that just kind of feel like they start to become a little flimsy into because there's just so much water to hold, and they just realize that they just don't have that kind of net to hold. You know what I'm saying? Like the game probably could have been better if it had an hour or two, like an extra hour or two to really fucking flesh it out a little bit.
Okay. Well, Bryce, do you want to say something? Because Ty has been taking up a majority of it.
Well, I just let them get their comments because I guess I just want to know like
what Ty doesn't like about the game.
I need to understand where they're coming from before I like say my piece, I guess. Because to me, I do agree it definitely is a more low game in terms of like what it's covering. But I feel like most of it honestly, my issue isn't how loaded it is. It's more so that a lot of it is kind of left up for later games.
Exactly.
In terms of it, because I feel like the main story is pretty like succinct in and of itself. I really enjoy the main story, and like obviously it does leave some things open for the future. But I think like I was overall satisfied when the credits rolled, and I wasn't left with a lot of I wasn't left like questioning too many things. But in terms of side missions, I feel like it like in the first game you had the Black Cat missions where you just did you did like those like stakeout locations, and all they were basically like, man, I bet you can't wait for that DLC, right? Like that's all those side missions were, and I feel like one too many side missions in this game are like that. Like the chameleon side mission with the Craven drones, like how you chase them and stuff. Like I like that side mission of itself, and I think like the chameleon tease is really cool. But then you also have like the spider bot side mission, which is also a tease for something that like I don't even fucking understand.
Fucking absurd. that is
Yeah.
absurd. My worst nightmare.
What
the
the
fuck?
what the Across the Spider-Verse shit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, me and Bryce were kind of talking about how like that in it of itself is kind of just like a can of worms that's just been fucking opened. Like, you know.
yeah, like I don't like where you even go with that. Who decide like who is Delilah? Why does she like that on a PS5 game? Like if there was a reasoning for it, like I would kind of like let it slide more. But like why does she look like that as like why is the character model like that? And then what was the point? Like I think it's like a fun enough like I think like as a collectible, it's pretty fun. And like it's a good extension of like the backpacks in a way where like like those backpacks would give like fun backstory to
lore
lore within that universe. And then this is just like kind of like literally just a fun thing to be like, hey, look at this cute little spider bot, and like hinting at like the larger Spider-Man universe that some people might not be aware of, like Anya Corazon, like she has a little spider bot and shit.
Yeah.
Or like the one where like the assassin spider bot. Like, and that's pretty fun. But then like the conclusion to it is like this weird tease to Across the Spider-Verse or like Spider-Verse movies in general.
Yeah,
and that will probably just not even be followed up.
Because it stopped being like in like a cool little Easter egg, and it's probably like now like, you know, like because like PS4 versus Spider-Man showed up in Across the Spider-Verse, right? Like I'm pretty sure that was him, but this begs the question, because Across the Spider-Verse in and of itself is just like such a like focal point of all like Spider-Man stories. Like, does that mean he's gonna? Because like fucking PS4 Spider-Man is now interacting with like comic Peter and shit like that, right? So it's like,
can you imagine that conversation between like fucking PS4 Peter and like PS4 Miles after he gets back from the Spider Society?
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, hey, like Miles, it wasn't anything personal. You just didn't belong there.
not that you don't belong here, Miles.
Yeah.
Miles, you people have to know your place.
And then that brings up like another question you have, because like Miguel treated Across the Spider-Verse Miles as like a one of a kind thing, but this
as
whole
an
thing,
outlier,
as an outlier. But now we have like PS4 Miles, and we have, you know, all comic Miles. Like, where does
I don't
this...
even think. Yeah, and I guess to me, I never try to any kind of especially when it comes to like comic book movies. I never try to view them as like actually referencing the things they're referencing, which I know is like a kind of a and like stupid, but it's like to me it's like, no, that can't be that version of that character that I know, because like they would have acknowledged that. like if there was going to be any reference to Across the Spider-Verse to like make that movie canon to like the game, like Spider-Man 2, like the Insomniac games, then there would have been like a small thing of like, man, I was like this. hey Miles, this reminds me of that time Spider Society, and like whatever else. Like a fucking Family Guy tag.
Yeah,
but there hasn't been, so it just makes it weird. Bottom line, that quest, like, it's cool, and I like finding the spider bots themselves, but the conclusion to it is just like okay, what the fuck. And then I think the one that really is the flame side quest. One, Carnage is lame as fuck in this game.
Yeah.
Like, he is such a lame character. It's such a lame character. And like, I think Carnage is a pretty boring character as is, really, because he's
just some guy.
Really
he's
is
just some serial killer.
Yeah, he's just some guy, and he's just like the amalgamation of the '90s fascination with serial killers and people like Hannibal Lecter-esque like characters. That's it. Like, that's all he has to him, is just to like, oh man, he's fucked up, isn't he? Like, he's a fucking psycho. He'll like cut your eyelids off. He'll fucking 5 jump. And
Yeah.
this one like takes that and makes it even worse because it's like, one, we're in a T for teen game, so you can't even explicit with it. And then 2, he's just like this generic cult leader who is like, oh, the flame, it's gonna consume all, like we all burn flame, and like just again, like the most generic shit. Like out of all the stuff to choose for Carnage to for a character like Carnage to follow, why fire? Like why is it like the most generic like cult thing to praise? And the only cool line he has in the entire game is like his final one, where he's like, "It will bring truth, judgment, and carnage." Like, and that's like it's like a cool line, like in the moment, and like gets you kind of excited. But then you think he's been carried throughout the rest of the game, and you immediately go back to not being excited, and you realize like, oh, this is just another DLC or like full on third game tease that went nowhere. Like I went through like these past 3 or 4 missions with Yuri, and the only satisfying part was just seeing prioritize saving somebody over killing somebody else. But I still think that's not like a strong enough conclusion to that arc for it to like justify that big of a tease. Because right now we have Chameleon, Carnage, Otto, and Green Goblin. That's 4 real, like, which Chameleon can like obviously like be relegated to a. I wouldn't mind. Carnage, arguably no. Like I'm really curious to see in the next few months if they do like announce a DLC or like an expansion or like a middle game or something, because I feel like to me, like there has to be a middle game. If there is a middle game, I feel like a lot of concerns would be waived in a sense for Spider-Man 3, because I feel like when you are listen, I kind of like this, but continue.
How, like, if you said like, there could be a middle game. What the fuck are they gonna do exactly? My nigga, fucking Scorpion's dead. Vulture's dead. Rhino seems like he's going to be dead, or he could be dead. So, like, nigga, what the fuck are we doing?
Well, Spider-Man has a really vast and large rogues gallery.
I'm not concerned about. To me, my concern with that isn't the fact that like they killed those characters. Like, I'm fine with that. I just think it's the fact that like we didn't actually see it. Like we saw out of all the Sinister Six members, I think Scorpion was the one I was least interested or concerned about Kraven taking out. That was an obvious obvious win for him. Like
but
he picked on the smallest
Kraven
guy in the yard.
but if you saw Kraven actually like take down fucking like Electro, shit would have been like, oh damn, give me the business.
Fucking, like, someone broke the game and they found out that Rhino's head was on an old it was like on a beta version. Kraven throne. Like, imagine that.
Yeah, they had like a throne room. Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that's
in the game.
That's probably.
But in the actual game, though, like there's no implication that Rhino was killed. It's only Shocker, Electro, Vulture, and
Scorpion.
Whoever else, like Scorpion, and they only show Scorpion, and like it's a good scene. I like that scene, especially when he's like, "This is the best you got," like with the fucking Venom, and it's like, "Oh shit!" Like that's pretty cool. Just like how ruthless he is with it, and I do like the audio log for Shocker, because the way it sounds is like Shocker was the one who put up like the most fight. He was, because Kraven is like, even when he's dead, like his eyes look like they want to kill me. Like he was almost promising but at the end of the day, he wanted survival, not like the kill.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's actually like really cool that Shocker of all people was the guy to like hold that. And I think for Shocker, like that's good enough. It's good enough to just be to like hear that in the novel.
Yeah.
But for somebody like Electro and Vulture, no. Like you should like we should have seen that. We should have absolutely seen that, or at least like gotten. We should have gotten more out of it. That's my only. I think that's like my biggest disappointment with the game. And then another thing that we'll probably touch on later, like having to do with the final boss.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have like. I mean, obviously, like once I get my hands on the game for myself, get my fucking 25 hours and 25 to like 200 hours in. Obviously, I'll be a little more,
well versed.
Well versed, I would say.
Yeah. I gotta wait 2 years. I gotta wait 2 years.
Fucking
2 more years.
I think another problem I had with it was like basically I like mentioned it in passing, but like this little storyline that they're possibly building up, Bryce, and like you said, it might lead to a middle game or it might not. Of like this like pseudo Spider Island thing they've got going.
Oh, it's like that shit will be gas.
You're starting to like kind of build up that on other symbiotes and all that, and then you throw in just for extra measure, just in case Insomniac didn't sell you over with just Miles Morales, Peter Parker. You want to throw in fucking Cindy Moon just to be like, hey, there we go. Are you happy now? There we go. Here's another one. Have fun with that. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was another thing I forgot to mention in terms of the teases is the Cindy mode of like it all.
Really.
Yeah.
I literally thought it was gonna be a supervillain reveal. Like I thought like Rio was about to be dating fucking Morbius or some shit, and I thought that was gonna be the reveal. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, Cindy, and I was like, wait, what? Like I legit was fucking losing my mind. Just like, how is this gonna work? And like I am but like. Again, it's like the deep-rooted fucking Marvel fan in me can't help but be excited at the prospect because, like, I've been waiting for them to do, like, a female spider hero in this universe. And, like, to me, it was just an inevitability of when they were going to do it. And I'm kind of glad it was Silk of all people. Like, as much as I would have liked Jessica Drew, I think Silk is kind of, like, a better pick because, especially with the version they're going with, like, trying to make her, like, a sister to Miles. It it seems more streamlined and like it'll work out better than if they tried to even do like a Gwen Stacy.
Oh yeah, I would much rather. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
it's like... No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I do understand like a lot of stuff with like there's so many bags the third game is holding now. And I think in some ways it definitely adds like a questionable feeling to this game where it's like, okay, like, because I do think the game gives you a full experience. Like I said, through the campaign, like the campaign itself, like the main missions, you get that full experience. And through a lot of the side missions, like there's a side mission with Miles in this game, where you find instruments for this jazz museum, and then you actually get to visit the museum, and it like introduces you to a lot of real world jazz figures and like gives like bios about them and like what they did and stuff. And that's just like really fucking cool. And like you get a nice sweet moment with him and his mom at the end where like they dance together. And there is a beating heart to this game that is undeniable in pretty much everything it does, to the point where I can't help but love it. I can't help but like appreciate what it's doing, and like I said, even on like the main story level, which I know is where probably like most of your issues lie, I think it has something really interesting to say about how people choose to define themselves, especially in this world, because a lot of people, a lot of the characters we follow in this game choose how to define themselves according to Peter. Like we see how MJ defines herself according to Peter, how Miles defines himself according to Peter, and how Peter defines himself according to him. And it's just really interesting to see how like they are constantly coming into conflict with one. Like the Scream fight is one of my favorite fights in the game, not just because like it's like cool to see Scream in the game, but also because I mean June summed it up as being MJ calls him broke the whole fight. But it's also the deeper it's also the deeper layer of her expressing her frustrations at not like having of not feeling like she has enough autonomy in the relationship. Like she has only been viewed
the
as like
damsel in distress.
yeah, like the money bag, the person who like constantly needs to be there for Peter and like hold this job she doesn't like for Peter, and like it's not about what she actually wants, and he has been too busy saving the world. Like it's hard for her to like feel like she can be selfish when she is faced with a man who is so selfless. And like that is just like a really like profound, like to me I was like, wow, like that's really cool, and like it made the fight like 10 times better. And I feel like all the fights have like that deeper layer of characterization.
But I feel like people don't see that layer because like not to call out names here, but some old heads will see like the fact that like Scream is in the game and just go, like they won't even give it like a second thought. The fact that like Scream is just there, they just write it off.
Yeah, and it's Mary Jane and all that. Like I think it just there's a lot of surface level layers to it that like people are instantly gonna like turn off to. They're not gonna give it. They're not gonna want to give it that chance. And like to a certain extent, I can understand, but also I think you need to at least try to like meet things like meet certain media halfway to like fully appreciate them. And I think this game in particular, like you kind of have to. Obviously, it's not like Last of Us Part 2 levels where you need to make some like really big leaps in like faith, like trust for the storytellers.
Right.
But I think this game in particular, like you do need to kind of just like you need to see what it's doing rather than like what you wish it would. And I definitely, like I said, I understand that feeling. I have that feeling with the game with the Sinister Six. Because it's like, okay, why do we have like we could have maybe gotten rid of it and instead had like a electro focus mission or whatever, showing that stuff, and I get frustrated with that. And it also, but to me, I always try to always look at it too from the angle of like what has the game already done, and like what is it do? Because like obviously it did commit to killing those villains, so to me it's not an unreasonable ask to just like show that like a little bit more. Whereas like some other stuff, it's like there's only so much you can fit in or really like do, because it's just I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but
a little bit.
Yeah,
but it's fine. It's fine. I mean,
I'm trying to like collect my thoughts as I go, because I haven't really been able to like talk to anybody about this game either.
Yeah,
like, I mean, I've only had June. I've only had June really to talk about it with. And
I wanted to ask both of you because it has recently been brought to like my attention, and to a lesser extent Bryce's attention, that people think Insomniac Peter is like a little too nice. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I have one response to this, and I will be paraphrasing a tweet I saw earlier. And it said something along the lines of, Insomniac Peter and MJ act like a couple that waits to have sex until marriage. And I can feel that. Yeah. I think I think he's a little bit of a.
Isn't that a fucking cosmonaut? Okay, yeah, no. I'm not cosmonaut variety hour fucking criticism there. Okay, I'm not listening to that. I watch that guy. I watch him too, but I'm not accepting that one.
Yeah, because let's be honest here. Like some old heads want Peter to.
I think
Well, what's like
it. But like it's like that thing with fucking like Holland Spider-Man where he just doesn't have much of an edge.
Yeah.
Like imagine him being a dick. Not in like a traditional like oh fuck you kill yourself Flash kind of
kill yourself now.
like but like a genuine like I can't envision him readily getting pissed off, and that's why it's surprising to me when he is a dick. You're like, why don't you go take more drugs, Harry?
Why don't you pop more?
Yeah, this is why your family left you,
dude. That one's crazy. We need to talk about like after this, but yeah, that one's crazy.
Yeah, that's the point of where it becomes a little canny for me. But I don't know if I would necessarily call him like too nice. I don't know.
I would say like I am personally a Spider-Man fan who much rather enjoys a more mature Peter. You know, a lot of people like him in like his 80s where he's wearing the cloth black suit and he fucking hates his life and he's telling people to kill themselves like every other second. I like the more muted Peter where he still has that edge, but he's not like, not as like angry with the world as he is. He's just miserable. That's my favorite Spider-Man. And I feel like the game definitely did nail that miserable aspect of it because he literally gets fired from his job the first day.
Yeah. I remember one of our mates had said that like in referring to like Mr. Negative, that like if Peter found out that Mr. Negative was working, if like if comic Peter found out that May was in the same building as like a fucking like a criminal who's killing everyone and doing this and that, he would have torn him apart. And I'm that's
the thing though. That's the thing.
Peter, like, yeah, but like this nigga's a softie. Like we get the impression.
Well,
by the time we get to like the first game that like Peter, like PS4 Peter, hasn't gone through quite much adversity to the point of where he's fucking he's fucking pissed off all the time. But, he's like he's done with everyone's shit. Not done.
But to that point of Peter, comic Peter finding out that Martin Lee was working with Ant-Man, that does happen in the comics though, and he really doesn't do anything with it. You know, it's like that. The problem with adapting a fucking comic book character that's been going on since like the fucking 60s, right, is that characterization is something that is across the fucking spectrum. So you're always going to alienate some people because there's just so many different iterations of like Peter and like, to that you just can't strike all the fucking chords.
Well, I think there's a point of like where that characterization literally just needs to become part of your headcanon. But like part of it just needs to be like here's the definitive version of this character in my headcanon because we're not going to get a perfect one-to-one over 80 years of existence or whatever.
Yeah. I feel like he did nail it. It's just, like you said, he just doesn't have that edge. But I mean, does he really need that like edge though? Especially at like this point in his life.
Yeah, I feel like he's like a little too grown to be acting like that. Like sir, like you're old as fuck now, Peter. Like my nigga, you gonna fucking blow out a back muscle.
Yeah, and it's like
my age. Fuck you.
And it's like if you want that edgy like Peter shit, the fucking black suit literally does more than it provides that in like more ways than one. Like you have Peter literally telling the fucking lizard, "This is why your family left you" in the middle of a boss fight. Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, Bryce, do you have anything to say to that?
Yeah, I guess, and I've said this before to June, but I've always viewed this version of Peter as a character who has long since like reconciled with his sense of responsibility and like how much he actually like needs to do or shoot. He's recognized his limitations. He's not gonna like cry every time he like somebody dies. Like how like with the fucking bombing in the first game. Like Lee is like, oh, all those people died, and he
It's like,
instead of
oh,
just
shit.
being well, yeah, instead of just being like, I know I should have done better and like crying about it, he's like, I can't. He legit says to him like, I can't save everyone.
Yeah.
And it's like, and to me, he like that comes off as somebody who is like already
You grown
come
this
to
shit.
terms. Yeah, he's already come to terms. Yeah, he already knows what being Spider-Man means, and like that, there's only so much he can do as Spider-Man. He's not having the weight of the world on his shoulders, and that's why I like the Black Suit storyline in this game so much. Is because you see him relapse into that old mindset of like, no, I can be a better Spider-Man. Like I can literally save everybody. Like there's a reason why I shouldn't be able to save everybody, and
Yeah.
but it comes at like him being reckless and more like angry because he's only ever focusing on negative parts that like that whole section of the game where he is like going crazy and like railing on everybody like after the lizard fight he's like, oh, Miles was off his game, like he wasn't on it, even though Peter was the one that was like fucking up the whole time. And Peter was the one like directly after that like chased Lizard through the streets and caused like so much damage, which admittedly kind of does like create a little bit of an issue in my head because there was some shit that happened in the first game where I was like, I think this should have been stopped way sooner. I think Spider-Man would have like thought like the Shocker chase in the first game. Like Shocker's like flipping cars and like shit like that when you're chasing him, and Peter doesn't like you're not able to stop him sooner than like a certain scripted moment. And it's like, okay, come on. But I do think the lizard destruction is like it's enough to where it's like, okay, sure, like he could have stopped this way sooner and just didn't like wasn't going about it the right way. Like he took the time while he was riding lizard time to grab one of the hunters and fucking boot him into a pillar. He's like, you asked for this.
But yeah, it's you know, it's like I was saying how like the black suit quite literally gives you that like Peter Parker that like most of like the old heads are like asking for. It's just they don't want that to be like the reason they have that Peter.
Right.
Which also strikes up like another chord that I wanted to talk about, where people were like criticizing how the fucking alien symbiote was like being like a inhibit something that had like the characters voicing like their like worst versions of themselves. And I just think to myself, why the fuck would I just want to play as like a Peter Parker who's just angry because he's sleep deprived? Like that's fucking lame. like that's fucking lame as hell. You know, it's like I want Peter
His
to
ass
be
just
like
needs
yelling.
some sleeping pills.
Yeah, it's like I want Peter to be angry because the fucking alien symbiote is making him do like 50 hit combos with tentacles, like swinging motherfuckers in the air. That's what I want. I don't want like Peter just cranky because he didn't get his 7 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I just want to say, also adding on to the symbiote thing, I think this game has an unreal it has a really extended stretch of like it's firing on all cylinders. Like I'd say pretty much from the lizard boss fight to just after you play as like the cutscene right after you play as Venom is unreal in terms of pacing and just like gameplay, because I think it perfectly blends gameplay and story, because obviously you have the black suit as Peter and you're playing through and you're fighting Lizard, doing all that stuff, and then you go fight Craven and you're kicking the shit out of him, and then obviously as Miles you fight Peter, and then during that cutscene when Harry gets the symbiote, it does this neat little camera trick where like it goes behind Peter as if like you're about to take control and fight Venom. But then Norman steps in and is like, wait, stop. And then Venom like fucking knocks Peter to the side. And then it builds up and you start playing as Venom. And then that's when you realize no, you haven't been playing as Peter, you've been playing as the symbiote, basically, for the past like 3 hours. And like now you get to see its full potential. And to me, that is like such a perfect marriage of gameplay and story, and it made the moment all that more earned and just fucking awesome. Because like obviously, when you just say, "Oh, you get to play as Venom in the game," that's already a cool as shit thing. But to add that deeper layer to it and make it that entwined with the gameplay makes it 10 times better. It makes it that much more rewarding. And then Venom's gameplay set, all of it is so often. Like, he doesn't have that many deep. It's like, with Peter, when he dodges bullets, he just moves out of the way and, like, maybe, like, shoot a web at the guy. But when Venom, like, deals with bullets, he catches them and then throws it back at. Like, any defensive move he makes is purely offensive. And it just makes it, like, you feel the fundamental difference.
Power!
And really, you feel it really lives up to the idea of him being the anti-Spider-Man in, like, every way. And that's, and it's just an unreal stretch of gameplay. And then obviously it finishes with, like, the hardest cutscene in the game, which is Venom biting fucking Kraven's head off, basically.
Yeah.
And like, it'd be like,
sorry. I think it's a interesting relationship that I will build with the game. But off the rip, I don't. It's. I think I'll come to look in like a way that I love fucking. Ironically, Five Nights at Freddy's, where it's like I can put aside some I can make some concessions. With story, because like I can tell this shit, someone cooked here. Someone cooked here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think like I know it was in the chat to talk about how I'm ragging on the game,
Yeah.
But it's like I am like nowhere near that extreme. Having some time, having some time with the game, time to even send my opinion. I'm a little more like, well, fuck. Like this was a nice advertisement for Spider-Man 3, I guess.
I think part of the reason why I personally like it so much is because most of the story beats from Spider-Man 2 take elements from the comic books that I literally grew up like reading. Like I wasn't I didn't grow up
and
on
I think
like
that's an
80s
important.
Spider-Man. I didn't grow up on 90s like Todd McFarlane Spider-Man. I grew up on late 2000s, early 2010s like Brian Michael Bendis and it's like Straczynski and Dan Slott Spider-Man is like the shit I grew up with, and the fact that I can like see, I can like point and point and like soy jack at moments that like, oh, it's just like the comic book, it's just that's probably why the reason why I like it so much.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes sense. I will admit, for all the shit I've given the main campaign about fucking like Peter and Harry and all and Venom and I will admit, I really do like this story between Miles and I think that is one of the best parts of it. It's so
Miles definitely had the like the highlight. is definitely. I mean, not the highlight, but like more consistent.
I
With
mean,
a story.
aside from that dog ass costume, yes, absolutely.
I saw this one fucking video. It's like the Suits theme song, and it's the fucking beat you make in the Miles Morales game, like the.
But it's like it's like I see the criticisms with the game, and like I do get like like the story beats, but I don't think those will like impact my enjoyment of the game when it drops, because let's be honest, when you're in the middle of a fucking fight as symbiote Spider-Man and you're like fucking throwing motherfuckers, I doubt you're gonna be like, maybe the story wasn't really that good. And I doubt the fucking average everyday Joe who's picking up this game is gonna like give two shits about like like the comic books and stuff, because they're gonna see like anti-Venom Spider-Man. They're gonna see
you're undervaluing the intellectual mind of the average consumer.
Well. No, I'm saying like how like me, you, Bryce.
Are you saying
like,
that they're not smart, June?
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying yeah. Fuck.
Yes, I am. I'm very
obvious. Like June, you have to understand. I was fucking
let me talk. My
old when Arkham Knight came out, and the fucking rage, and not even like rage, like fucking genuine rage.
Yeah.
The eye rolling towards Rocksteady when Arkham Knight just turned out to be Jason Todd. Despite them being like, no, it's a new character. You just play the game and you get invested in it. Enjoy your time.
No, that's not the point I'm trying to make here. It's the point that like your average everyday Joe, unlike me, you, and Bryce and them, when they see Venom pop out his fucking wings, they're not gonna roll their eyes and go, "Oh, here's a reference to Noel and the symbiotes." No, they're gonna think that's fucking metal.
Yeah, like I had some friends earlier. They were Venom, like just very casual, and I was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you niggas?" but like I get it. Like,
there's a certain level of just like ignorance, not like ignorance, but like innocence when it comes to like, because like let's be honest here, the people that we have talked about this game with are cynical comic fans who have been getting shafted by the book for like years now, right? So it's like, so like here's somebody talk about like Venom and go like, wow, he has wings and shit. And just see Peter with like his anti-Venom suit fight against him. It's just
it's like,
yeah.
Yeah. Looking at it, it was like, ooh, like that's a little rough. Some tough spots.
But
I'm not gonna lie, I soy jacked pretty hard when he busted out those fucking wings. That's kind of what I was talking about in the previous episode. Like, I am curious how my friend who is not in the comic books is gonna react when Venom just like all of a sudden busts out some fucking wings out of literally nowhere. Like, it's not built up to. He literally just does it, and the game is just like, yeah, except that he has wings. Like,
I was like, I saw that fucking cutscene, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, this nigga has wings now? Like, they just did that?
Yeah.
Just like that?
Like, that's the cool part about it, It's like there's that like level of like innocence when it comes to like just going into it blind, having no idea about the comic books. They just like, because like Bryce said, he was excited to see Scream. He knows who Scream is. Imagine somebody who doesn't know who Scream is seeing that for like the first time, or just seeing anti-Venom for the first time. It's just there's just layers to it.
Right.
I don't think any of us will ever be able to just like see it without looking through like the lens of the books.
Well, I mean, fucking like I kind of get it.
Yeah,
I kind of get it in a way, but like I think Bryce mentioned it earlier. Like The Last of Us 2, like the way I saw it, like it took me a while to fucking digest the creative choices that game made. And I've been digesting it more recently. I don't know if I talked about it with you, Bryce, but like I might have sent it to you. I don't know. But like the story of the game was inspired by this fucking
the Israel Palestine, yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know of it a little.
It's like this fucking. I think fucking. What's his name? Neil Druckmann talked about how like he heard about this. It was like this nasty kind of hostage situation between a Palestinian who had like ended up, whose family was like killed by like this Israeli soldier, and how disgusted he was by it, and so he ended up making an entire game about it, completely missing the context of the situation.
Yeah.
And just rather, making it, a higher ground kind of thing.
Yeah,
But-
which is like, no, that's fucking like looking at it from like a standpoint where it's like, it's like the war and shit. It's anybody who says like there should be like a ceasefire and like like picking sides. It's just it's I mean that's a whole other bag of worms. We're here to talk about Cape shit. It's like
Have you heard of
Okay,
Something
well-
Rotten, Ty? Like the podcast Something Rotten.
No. Let me Google
Yeah,
this real quick.
the podcast Something Rotten. They looked at Last of Us Part 2 and they went into that story because I think it was like, because I think Neil Druckmann is Israeli himself or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think he's Israeli, and I think it was that. Yeah, so one of like this guy had committed a crime or whatever, like. Oh yeah, an Israeli soldier was like arrested in Palestine or whatever, and like the families had like the guy was already in jail, and the families had like broken him out of jail or whatever, and then just fucking like killed him in the streets or whatever, and like
Jesus.
he was like so rageful about it that he, I don't know, I guess he said like he wished they were all dead or something like that. Like all of Palestinians were dead. Like just held so much and then like that's what spawned the story, I guess, and like he realized like how like vile and potent I guess that is, which is I don't know. Like it does get this when you look at it through that context, like the story gets dicier. I get, to me at least, like it gets a little like like you start questioning the politics.
Like, yeah, I'm like the Nazi, like that's her take. Like that's, but
yeah.
All I'm gonna say is maybe if Ellie had the fucking symbiote suit, she wouldn't be in that situation.
You know what? They're gonna retcon it and fucking wings.
Right.
She's gonna fly.
Right.
She's gonna fly to Dina, save the day. She's gonna save the world, heal the world.
Yeah. No, it's like
but yeah, like
I mean,
but like just having that ignorance of like, oh fuck, how could they like fucking kill Joel and this and that, and then going through torture
Abby's,
and kill
yeah.
just generally a horrible person in game. It puts you through a certain cycle. So I understand like there's different levels of understanding and different levels of like just dissecting a story.
Yeah.
So I see in a way like are things certain story choices where like I might not fuck with it because it's like weird for me as like I got skin in this game, but like fucking Seth, like he's fucking somewhere slobbering and drooling over every single thing he comes across. That is Spider-Man. He's a fucking source material. And so when like some 40-year-old fucker from fucking 20 years ago is on screen, he's still like a piece of shit. But he's like, oh my god, I grew up with him as a fucking as a kid. I was a little kid. I was a little kid, and he was on my screen, and now he's back. He's got his feet. So yes, I get it. Fuck you, Seth. Anyway,
I was gonna say we were just talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. You are just as fucking potent to that.
That's the funny thing because Ty was acting like that in the chat, right? And Seth was making fun of them for it. So Ty was like, "You know what, Seth? On this episode of Virginia Talk, 5 minutes of Spider-Man No Way Home hate. Which is fair. Yeah, I think Seth is just like a good point to bring up because he's played the game. He's and like he loved it because he doesn't have that that comic book cynicism when it comes to it. Like he just thought the story beats were fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the part where it's like, where do our biases show up when it comes to storytelling in mediums that we enjoy?
Right.
No.
And I get it. Like it's weird. Like the things that it really depends on what gets to you first. Because I feel like I don't know. I feel like had I not been exposed to like I don't know. I guess Spectacular really started this preference for like Harry as Venom for me. Had I not been exposed to that earlier, as opposed to like the concept.
Wait, you mean Ultimate? Or
no. I'm saying like if I was exposed to Harry as Venom before Harry as Goblin, I'd be seeing this very different.
Oh
yeah.
But like, I guess it really does depend on what you see you first and how you.
Like how you're really
And I guess that's what I mean when I say like sometimes you just have to like meet it halfway because like you might not be used to it like being Harry for Venom, but at the end of the day, like that's what they went with, and like you got to kind of like try to find what they were saying by doing that because
right. And our friends and a couple of our friends were like, yeah, like why, like maybe they'll do like Eddie in the set in like his own game. Why?
Yeah.
Like, why? Like where's that point? Like
there is no Eddie Brock quite literally was just like a throwaway fucking like cameo. Like that was it.
Well, not even a cameo, an Easter egg. He signed fucking Peter like goodbye card. That was it.
Like
that's
him
all
and
he
Peter
did.
have like no reason to like beef with each other. They're cool in this universe.
Yeah.
And I think me and Bryce were talking about this like more, but like the fact that they've set up so much shit that they could do with the games is kind of like at the same time, yes, it is a clusterfuck, but it's also very exciting. Because there's so many ways because there's so many things they could do with it. That being said, if Red Goblin is a thing, I just might blow my fucking head off. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I will not discount it. I will not discount it at all. Spider Island and Red Goblin.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for 2028, I guess.
But then that also brings up like the fucking notion that like Norman is like fucking 60. So they just might just have
become
like
you were
fucking,
a 50. They just do the fucking Marvel Knights thing. Just like you are a 55-year-old man.
Bryce. It's gonna be like fucking. You'll probably get this reference more than June, but it's gonna be like fucking like Vince McMahon in the Attitude Era, like Peter. I'm fired up. You ruined my life, Peter. I'm gonna fucking kill you.
And I didn't know. I need that imagery. That fucking imagery. You take me to that son of a bitch. Where is he?
You take me
to that son of a bitch. Go.
What's good in the hood? To Miles.
Fucking
keep it
stay up. My N-word.
Like it's just a fucking old ass nigga in a fucking armored up goblin costume
throwing bombs and shit.
Dude, seeing edits of him in a goblin costume, funniest shit ever, dude. It's so fucking funny like seeing that old
Trump. It's like seeing Trump in a goblin costume.
Yeah, Trump in like the Iron Patriot armor. Like fucking just so old. It's so fucking good. And part of me is wondering, it's like, hey, are they gonna like actually have it end up being Norman being Goblin, or are they just gonna make Harry Goblin?
Yeah,
like, are they gonna make him like a monster? like a
I feel like
Frankenstein.
they'll probably end up. I feel like they'll probably end up making him a monster goblin, but
Yeah,
I don't
but like
know.
Norman's probably going to be regular Goblin
I don't know.
a little bit, or maybe not. Now that I think about it, because he is like 60.
In
Like
the first
Goblin
game,
formula be damn. That motherfucker has a hernia. He's gonna pull his fucking back out.
he's gonna fucking end up like Mitch McConnell, like the middle.
Like halfway through his fucking villain monologue, he just freezes up.
Holy fuck!
Holy shit!
I'm just imagining like the final fight with like MJ and I. We're gonna wait.
What hell am I?
It's like Norman.
It's exactly like fucking Butler from the third movie. How like there's like those those takes of him literally fucking like blanking on the line, could not get it right for so long because he's
so old.
me and the Red Goblin, we're gonna we're gonna roll Boston. Yeah, we're in Boston. I love Boston. Red Sox, go Red Sox.
I hope we see more of Kingpin. I think Bryce brought up like the Kingpin as like a boss fight in like 3. I think that would be pretty cool.
Brian Zahart, they've been kind of hinting at something coming with Daredevil. I think this might be me being delusional, but I remember when I hinted at like, or there was an Easter egg to Union Allied for the Daredevil show, and then Brian Zahart was like, "Good find, stay tuned." So like,
because they got like a from their office. Like the office isn't there anymore. Like you can still find the plaque, but it's not there. And I don't.
Yeah,
it makes me worried because Brian Intar asshole to just like tease things. But I'm also like I always have to be skeptical. I always like want to remain skeptical.
Like we saw fucking like Wong in this bitch. So like I mean I genuinely do think there will be more tongue in cheek like references, if not like flat out like crossovers.
There is a reference at the end of the Sandman thing to Nelson and Murdoch as well, because at least I finished the quest as Miles, and he's like, oh, we should get Pete's lawyer friends on that to help him like see his daughter again. And I was like, oh shit, like that's pretty cool.
I'm a little surprised they didn't have any kind of mission relating to Wolverine.
Yeah,
Wolverine. Like, yeah, I can kind of understand why they didn't.
Like, they probably didn't want to jump the gun and reveal anything that fucking. They didn't want to step on the other team's toes, but like, I don't know, like it just makes me. It just all it does is just make me think the rest of the heroes in this fucking universe suck. Like the Avengers suck. If the Fantastic Four exist, they suck. It's just Spider-Man.
I remember seeing a tweet. It's like they gotta be dead or something, and it's like showing the Avengers power because like really like all of them are fucking like me through every fucking situation Spider-Man has. Which you could like obviously that can be argued in like any kind of superhero context, but like this one especially, it's like what the fuck? Like we could have something. Like Doctor Strange clearly was like in town, and he just was like, "You got it, Peter." Like
I do think that's like the problem when you have like these like cameos, especially in like a post MCU world where it's like people will like they like see it and they're like, oh, where were the Avengers during this? Oh, you know, when it's like
where were they? Like what the fuck could you possibly? Like,
Oh, yeah.
like, were you on the other
yeah.
side of the world? Like New York was being taken over by aliens, by a symbiote invasion. My nigga, that is literally an Avengers level threat. Where the fuck were you guys?
Yeah, I feel, and like Web of Shadows did it perfect. No, like I mean, like not perfectly. Like there was still, it's like we have
But they
fucking
were
Moon
there.
Knight on call, but we have Moon Knight on call, but Iron Man, big hitters or like. But at least like you got like some care. You at least had like recognition of where it's like, okay,
like
like they're
fucking
doing something.
Wolverine.
All they needed was just one
Wolverine's
scene of like fucking like Genki trying to call the Avengers, and they just declined it like immediately. That's all they
Yeah, or even like the first
They
game
just
where like,
declined it, like,
yeah, or even like the first game where like Pete just makes an offhand reference. Oh, like I think they're in, like on the West Coast right now, and
Guantanamo Bay.
like just leave it at that. Like you just have like one fucking line to reference it, and that's all you need, and I'll buy into it because it just seems weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but wait, hold on. What was I gonna say? They could have done
Where
like
was
the
I?
fucking.
Where was I?
I'm like Norman. I'm like fucking Norman.
You are a 55-year-old man, Norman.
But I mean, I do think they probably like Bryce said, they probably could have referenced it. I don't know if they could like flat out like just like reference them, like have like a fuck. I mean, I don't know like rights and stuff, but like have like a fucking frame where it's like you see like Captain America's shield get like thrown in like a crowd or some shit, you know?
That'd be fucking.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like it's weirder too because like this game has a buddy system. Like, like I'm literally playing the game right now as we speak, actually, and I'm in a fucking. I just did a fucking random crime, and Wraith showed up and is like helping out. And that they could have done that where it's literally like Captain America, Wolverine, or whoever the fuck just shows up real quick and is like, "Need some help, bub?" Or the voice says, "Please stop," because it's Moon Knight.
Yeah.
She's just fucking freaking out, and they could and they just help out real quick, and then that's it. And actually, that was like something I wanted to touch on as like another big disappointment in the game is that you don't get that team up in the final fight. Like, yes, you get a phase as Peter and you get a phase as Miles, but you don't get to actually fight Venom together, which I think is like the biggest missed opportunity and makes it feel like it doesn't make the ending feel as satisfying as it could have been. And it's weird because like the game literally starts out with a fight where both you switch between both Spider-Man and like you can see the other one doing it while you're doing stuff. And I just wish that they
This ain't your fight, little nigga. Stand down.
I think my biggest missed my opinion for like the biggest missed opportunity is that we didn't get Venom dunking on Spider-Man like once. They
even went to a high school. They even took it to the high school. Shit, and he could have dunked on. Been like, I will ball on you now, Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, this was a lot more civil than I thought it would be.
Listen, bro, I told you, like fucking Bryce and I, we're fucking chill, bro. We're chill.
Yeah, we have it locked down.
If fucking Bryce was in here, it quite literally would just be me and Ty yelling for like fucking like an hour.
No offense, June. I think it would have been purely on your head. You would have been like, "Man, fuck you, this game peak," and then Ty would have been Ty would have been emboldened to say even more stuff.
Yeah, like halfway through the call, it's like, who the fuck you think you talking to, motherfucker? This big ass teriyaki. You ain't about this Spider-Man shit, you bitch. But yeah, it's cool. It's nice when we can have conversation like this where there is no like cynicism and we don't get our favorite mediums called dying.
Yeah. Exactly. I love being right. I love
being right.
having
I love being right.
I love having opinions that are better than Ty's.
No, shut the fuck up. Shut up.
You'll be coming back to me once you get that PS5 and you become a big grown man. You'll understand the peak that is this game. Once you're able to use
I don't.
web wings, you'll fucking cream your pants.
Web wings. The web wings die.
I can only hope so. Listen, Bryce. Fucking. I know one thing. You will have my back. I know that. That's all I need to know.
When what?
The Marvels comes out. I need to know. Just
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I pray to God, dude. If that ends up being like truly ass, I'm gonna be so upset. If it ends up being like slightly worse than the first Captain Marvel movie, I'm gonna be upset.
Kevin Feige.
It's gonna be bad.
no shot.
It's gonna be bad.
Shot.
Kevin Feige. When I catch you, Kevin Feige. Ooh, Kevin Feige. When I catch you, Kevin Feige. There's gonna be some problems.
There was this weird fucking that came out like 2 or 3 days ago. That makes zero sense. So I really hope it's not true.
Yeah.
Like Bryce, are you okay with this possibly being a spoiler?
Okay, yeah, just tell me.
It's like there's a post credit that was like recently added with fucking Monica Rambeau meets Beast from like the original X-Men movies to somehow set up Deadpool. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like it doesn't make any sense.
There's no Kelsey Grammer. We're talking about Kelsey Grammer Beast?
Yes, I am.
Wait.
Okay, it would have been even funnier if it was Nicholas Holt Beast. Like that would have been pretty fucking. If goes to shit and he's just like, man, fuck, I'll be Beast again.
That is such a weird fucking movie to like do that with though.
If that ends up being true, I'm gonna no. That is random. That is more random than for Morbius post credit scene. I think the Vulture scene makes more sense than that would.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
It's more random than Doc Ock on a bridge coming out of the fog and saying, "Hello, Peter." I'm just saying that shit was really random. Like nobody could have seen anything that coming.
Imagine like making a bet on that and you have to snort Monster Energy because you ended up being wrong.
It could not be me. It could not be. I don't know. It could not be me. What? Watch. Okay, fine.
Fine, man. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Whatever. I still drank it, by the way. This was good. But that is such a like a random thing.
Yeah, Deadpool 2 does not to be set up. I fucking get it. I get the gist. Wolverine's back. Okay. Hey, let's have fun now. Please.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen that movie for a little while though.
I think what makes it even funnier, like it to me, like it's fine if you just want to have a disconnected post credit scene. Just like teasing Beast or whatever, but to like try to tie it into the Marvels and Monica, like she's gonna fucking talk with the Kelsey. Like, what the fuck are they gonna talk about? Is she gonna be like, oh my god, what? Are you okay? Like, what is she gonna say to him?
Yeah.
Why are you so blue? Shit like that. If it turns out to be true, shit like that.
Yeah.
You're a what? You said a mutant?
Is that like some kind of slur? Man,
are you oppressed too? I stand in solidarity with Matt.
But
That's what like the woke. That's what woke.
But
Not woke. The fucking like what are those? I don't know what that one guy's called. But just the the fucking like comic book people just being like, is Marvel going woke? And it's like a image of Monica Rambeau with a speech bubble, and it's like Blue Lives Matter. Like the fucking beast next to her or some shit.
I don't know, bro.
Cape shit.
If that happens, I don't even know. I don't even know. That honestly, that's even pose. That's like this is even worse. To me, it's like the equivalent of like when the Amazing Spider-Man 2 finished and you're expecting a post-credit scene, but instead you get a clip from the upcoming X-Men Days of Future Past for no reason. And that's it. And it's like a random... Yes, that was a real... Dude, I was in the theater. I was in the theater when it happened, and I was like just so... Random Mystique clip from the movie. Okay. And that was it. That was the movie. Like, I can't tell you how confused. And honestly, that's what made it worse for me as a kid, because like I had no idea about all the fucking studio bullshit and like who owns what, and like that made it even more confusing. Because it's like
you're just gonna think Spider-Man's in the next X-Men movie.
Yeah, it's like, oh, is there a possibility they could cross over? Because like my ass ever since. Like, obviously, since I was a kid, I was like, they can just do that. And, like, I thought at the end of the first Amazing Spider-Man movie, I legit thought, like, that was Nick Fury showing up, like, talking with the fucking lizard for a second. I thought, Nick Fury, give the talk to the lizard. And then, like, obviously, it's not, Mr. Fears, whoever the fuck that guy is. And we'll never know. And
I always thought it was Doc Ock.
You always thought it was Doc Ock.
I thought it was.
I can't blame you. I always had a weird. It's like that weird thing is everything to something else. Like I remember in the first Spider-Man movie, there's that moment when like it's like the first montage when he becomes Spider-Man, and like there's like those people who like robbed the jewelry store and a guy and this girl, and I always thought the girl was Black Cat. I just instantly was like, oh, that's probably Black. That's definitely Black Cat because like, she had like blonde hair.
Those movies. I know you like those movies, but that is literally both of the Amazing Spider-Man movies. That is beat for beat every single.
He gave guys some 4 stars.
It was just a reference, something they would make later.
Yeah,
like fucking police.
But it's hard though. It's hard. Andrew Garfield, huh? Andrew Garfield.
What the guy from The Office?
Oh yeah, is like, fucking Alistair Smythe, which is just hilarious. Like that's a whole thing right there. Like so off the book. Like why him of all people? Office is big right now. Let's get that guy. Even though like the show probably already ended at that point.
Yeah.
Norman Osborn dying in the beginning to plan to come back as like a fucking
monster goblin.
Like a monster goblin. Like
that shit.
A monster goblin. A monster clone goblin. This one forgets even more than the last one.
Yeah.
Fucking horrible. But it's so great. It's great.
I will unapologetically love The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and 1 until the day I die.
I've read your fucking letterbox. I read your fucking letterbox. You don't gotta tell me twice, asshole. I read the entire thing.
Listen,
when are you gonna be funny again, Bryce?
I was funny tonight. I fucking cracked up at my FNAF review. They thought that was hilarious. I got game. I got that letterboxed game. I'm just not recognized yet, you know. I haven't hit it big.
Yeah, not hit it big.
One day, people will recognize the genius of my reviews.
One day.
One day.
One day. Shit. Do we want to end it here? I feel like we kind of talked about everything.
I feel like we got it.
Yeah. For like 2 hours now.
Waiting for what?
So we've been recording for like 3 hours now, bro.
Yeah. I'm so
Can't
glad.
say out loud that I could have been doing better, but just no, I could not have.
I'm so glad I stopped that other episode because now I have to. Because this would have been a fucking bitch to just make.
Yeah, that's why I was like, are you because we need that.
I wasn't fucking lying about how Spider-Man 2 could legit be its own fucking episode. Oh man, cape shit, man. This is what it'll do to you.
What would you do with that?
What would you do with that? All right. Well, I've been Teriyaki Asian for the second time because this episode is probably dropping the fucking week after the Halloween one.
Mm-hmm.
God
willing, we actually get the.
Hey! I got the fucking thumbnail and I got the thumbnail and everything. You don't gotta worry.
What's the thumbnail? You didn't.
It's fucking. It's Freddy Fazbear.
Oh.
I mean, like, that was a no-brainer. But it's him doing the fucking
question.
Nazi.
Did you see it in the theater? You saw it in the theater. Did anybody do it?
Anybody do what?
Did anybody say horror? Yeah, did anybody do the horror, or did anybody say like, we did the bite of 87 when that fucking bisected?
It's funny you say that because when that happened, I leaned over to my friend and I whispered, "Was it the bite of 87?"
You're such a fuck. This movie was made for you. I fucking hate you.
autistic people. Yeah. I mean, like other than that, my theater actually was. Yeah.
The funniest fucking scene in that film, Abby fucking went over to Bonnie's guitar and just tried to strum it.
Oh yeah, and got fucking obliterated out of for I don't know what reason.
Yeah.
Like, why is it like that?
They're old animatronics.
Yeah, did that implies also that happened to Vanessa at one point because she was like, no. So it's like, bitch, you did that? Like, you just want from the fucking guitar? Like, are there more dead kids in the back?
I sent the chat that picture of that like girl who had the fucking Springtrap doll, and then I sent it to Bryce. But legit, after the bite scene, right? She got up, walked out of the theater for like a solid like minute, and then she came right back in, and I was like, "That's a weird thing to fucking do." I was like, "What the fuck?"
June, I thought someone leave and exit like that. I would.
I would have. I was like, is this bitch about to get shot up or something? Like what the fuck is going on here?
Dude, I had that moment when I was watching the Batman because my dad and like the weather ended up getting bad, so my dad couldn't end up going, but me and my girlfriend and friends still were able to go. And there was supposed to be an empty seat next to me. And then all of a sudden, like 20 minutes into the movie, some guy like comes up and just sits right next to me. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like breathing heavy and like had a bag with him. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like I legit sat there. Like honestly, pretty much the rest of the movie, I was just sitting there and like nervous and for this guy to like make a Dark Knight Rises Part 2 moment and like fucking like have a breakdown. So
that is crazy. I mean, like I don't think I've ever had any of that. Like most of my theater experiences, because I go like early in the day when I watch movies, right? So there's like usually not a lot of people because most people usually watch shit when it's like nighttime.
The strangest interaction I've had by far when I watched Mayhem early. Like back in the summer, and it was a kids movie, right? So it's like it's a little smaller theater. It's mostly children there, and there's this fucking adult couple sitting like 2 seats away from me. And I'm not saying I'm judgmental, You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I can see where this is
God,
going.
bit of a float the goat on God. Like I respect the hustle. I understand it. I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this, like, the dude, the
Mm-hmm.
dude, his head was fully on her breast the
Okay.
entire.
Oh.
Fully, no, I'm not talking like resting on it. I'm talking buried in it. Like he was in between. Like he was
Mama, I'm gonna take a nap.
like he fell asleep. No, he fell asleep on
Ugh,
her. Like a
that is
couple times he
crazy.
fell asleep.
What
I
the
went
fuck?
over and he was knocked the fuck out.
This is crazy.
That nigga was just
That's
sleeping.
insane.
Bro.
I think I think I think the weirdest thing I've ever had was just like and you'll probably use this as fuel for Seth, but I saw No Way Home like a second time, right? When the fucking extended cut came out because I was a shill, but some dude legit for like half of the movie was just snoring through it. Like he like fell asleep. So during like quiet moments, like after big battle scenes, you just hear
That's real. That's real. He was on some real shit.
yeah. I mean, that's probably the weirdest I've ever had. What about
I
you,
would have had to
Bryce?
wake him up for the new scenes though. I would have been real in the new scenes though.
I think
Again,
aside from that Batman moment, like one of the funnier ones to me,
Yeah.
was I went to go. You guys are gonna. He's probably gonna at this, but I went to go watch
Mm-hmm.
Central Intelligence with my brother a couple of. There was this guy like a couple rows down from us that like he thought it was like the funniest shit in the world. Dude. He was fucking cracking up laughing. Anytime someone was like, he's like, like just fucking burst out laughing. And it's like, dude, like what are you doing? And then more recently with Rise of the Beast, fucking Transformers movie, there were so many times throughout the movie somebody kept trying to like clap
Yeah.
and like make a moment, and it's like I fucking despise all of it. And that same thing happened with Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Same exact shit happened with Mission Impossible.
It's
Somebody's
probably
like
the same
trying to make a
guy.
clap.
It's
Yeah.
probably the same guy.
And it's
some
just like,
point,
what are you doing here? Like, why are you the way that you are? Like, quit trying to be the guy fucking Endgame opening night started
Uh-huh.
the Captain America. Like, Endgame ruined like theater experiences for blockbuster movies
Oh yeah. Oh
because
yeah.
everybody wants like that fucking Endgame moment now, and it's like it's not
Portal.
gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Endgame Portal.
You will never get it again. Like, I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
but like you're not getting it. Like,
Yeah.
they don't have that kind of song. They
No.
don't have that kind of song.
no,
Yeah.
no,
Tom
they don't.
Cruise. Yeah. Tom Cruise is not making me get out my seat and then start hollering. Okay.
There
We'll see if
was
I
a
can
pretty,
understand.
No.
we did get a pretty big gasp though.
Yeah.
Couple fucking
Ooh.
like
Ooh.
yeah, something like fucking nobody was fucking standing ovation and shit.
Yeah.
Nobody was doing it.
Yeah. Movie theaters, man. Such a
Yeah,
crazy place.
it's
We love
fucking
them though.
Martin
go.
Scorsese.
This is not sponsored by anyone. I'm not breaking strike. Killers of the
Yeah.
Flower Moon. Piss yourself while you watch it because it's like 3 hours and a half after.
Did you say
Fucking
Killers of the Flower Moon? Did you say that one?
yeah,
Which one did you say? Yeah.
yeah, that one.
Well,
Killers. Martin Scorsese.
Martin
God,
Scorsese.
may he live a long and prosperous life,
God
even
bless
as
that man. God bless that
he's not.
man. Yeah.
Amen.
Also, while you're at it, for only $23 a month, you can get Regal Unlimited, and you can see any movie you want for free.
Hell
For
yeah.
free.
That's what we're talking about, June. That's what we're talking about right there.
For free, and you get free refills of popcorn and soda if you pay like an extra $2 or something like that. I don't know. Hell yeah.
We're not sponsored by Regal Unlimited, but we can be. You really can.
Dude, I'll fucking sponsor Regal Unlimited day of the week.
It's a damn
Those
good deal.
fuckers have saved me like so much money.
Email us, dude. Fucking, I don't care. I'll
Email us,
I-
sponsor us.
sponsor these Regal.
I'll take anything. I'll sell out, dog. I'll be like Chip Zdarsky, no balls.
Literally, I'll be like fucking Soups. Anything. Give me fucking. I don't give a shit.
He's back! He's back!
Wonka. Give me fucking Wonka. I'll be like,
whoa! Timothy Chalamet deserves an Oscar. Shit.
All right. Well, this is a long one. But I'd say it's probably our best one. Well, one of them.
It is one of our best ones. I
the geriatric Norman joke alone earns us a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, I sure hope Mitch McConnell doesn't drop dead in his hole. Oh no. But
all of a sudden, like all the
been,
Friends co-stars are just gonna start dropping like fucking four.
Jennifer Aniston is gonna get on Instagram and be like, "Why is Jamie Foxx killing everyone?"
What the fuck are you talking? What the fuck are you talking? I don't even know what the fuck you're What the fuck? Okay, I need you to elaborate on that, please. I need an elaboration right now.
One more before we call it.
It was like fucking like it was like a while ago. Fox thing. I think it was like in. I don't remember what exactly was the context. Oh, right. He posted something about Jesus and Judas.
Yeah.
And nobody took it as anti-Semitic. But then Jennifer Aniston, she put him out and she called him anti-Semitic and everything. and then he come back later and he was like, no. I didn't mean it like the Jews betrayed Jesus. And they're bad because
that is crazy. It's so random. Oh god,
that's so fucking funny.
We're gonna get bombed by Israel, dude. This podcast is gonna get bombed by Israel.
Bombs over Baghdad, yeah.
Fucking IDF is gonna dox us.
But I've been
I fucking said Ty, just like what?
I can't even do the outro.
Yeah.
I can't even do the outro, bro. What the fuck? Holy shit!
I Gal Gadot.
Ooh,
Gal
shit.
Gadot.
Okay.
Good dog.
All right. Well,
where's and Israel right now, bro?
Okay.
Talk
I've been teriyaki. It's been June. My co-hosts, if they want to plug their shit.
I'm the player formerly known as Mouse Cop.
I am also known as Zionist for Hire. We to Zionist.
Holy shit! Oh my god!
No, but really, I'm Geekforhire on Instagram.
Yeah,
I'm back, but got some great stuff going on.
Yeah, me and Bryce are retired now. Ty is like the only semi-active one in the community.
Yeah, I've retired Adam Sandler's big Sandler's. I mean, it's still there, but
he's
not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It's
Can't believe you
listen,
turned your
man.
personal into a fucking meme page.
Listen, man, I don't want to hear the judgment.
the ways of old.
Soy boy. Okay, well, we'll see you. Maybe Christmas, and if we don't see you Christmas, probably next summer. And if we don't see you next summer, we probably got bombed by Israel.
Bombs over Baghdad. No, don't bomb Israel.
All right, bye.
Do not free Palestine, Callow.